learning from the YouTube star, which might better be titled Learning from the YouTube Influencer. The problem that I found last summer when trying to come up with a design for an online course that would be super engaging for the students, entertaining but also full of good instruction, and also a distraction from just simply having to be at home during the pandemic, was to learn what YouTube celebrities, if one could call them that, are doing to keep their viewers engaged. And they've developed all kinds of interesting tricks. I try to take what I could from those lessons and incorporate them into what's possible on a Canvas site. And so I'll review for you what those techniques first are that I thought were helpful, and then what I could take, and then in turn, how that resulted in the content I could make for a Canvas. So first, let me shrink this. I'm using Filmora 9. One of the lessons I learned from a person online who does this kind of instruction habitually is that the student should always see your face if at all possible, because that helps compensate for you're not actually being physically present. So that's what I'm practicing here. Now, of course, the most famous lesson one can draw is this extraordinary amount of editing that Randy Rainbow produces. And here are examples of his latest spoof. Are holding them back. Now notice a lot of cross-cutting, incorporating of other material, music, costumes. He's covered it all. These are things that one can draw from. But then there are other things too. This is a young YouTuber, and he uses a technique that involves, this is very popular, a lot of cross-cutting. Not cross-cutting, but snap cutting. And I'll show you what I mean.
Enjoy this really sad video. Alright, I don't know which one of y'all said this, but in my last storytime video, when I was like a juicy storytime video, someone said, you know it gets real when Nick pulls out a drink and a metal straw. And bitch, you are right. It's about to get
Okay, so what you see is lots of stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, great lighting, and which I'm not using now. And that too can really keep one's attention drawn. And then lastly, I want to show you a commercial video which uses similar techniques but is much more engaged with pedagogy, just so that you can see what that might look like.
Sometimes it's challenging trying to think of new and cool ways to express your content. For example, how can you showcase your fashion?
See more of that snap cutting?
Without things getting too repetitive or boring. Or keeping your makeup tutorials interesting so your viewers keep watching.
An introductory piece. Okay, so these are things one can draw from. And so let me show you what I have done. I'm going to give you a little piece of, well, first, let me show you what I generally do is I arrange things in modules. And so I was working here with this unit. I teach the history of photography. So this is on photography and the invisible. Unit description, and these two are my own videos that are slightly distinct. And then further into the content for third-party videos, assigned readings, a quiz on the videos, and then an essay question per week, which I grade individually. So let me just quickly show you two examples of these. First, I'll run through this. Again, I'm trying to learn from what we can see. Sorry for disappearing. And what I'll do is music, editing techniques through iMovie, and a period costume. This is 19th century photo. So I'll just show you like half a minute of this. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our next unit, which is focusing, among other things, on spirit photography. Photography of ghosts, spirits, and other things that the eye cannot normally see. And then what I've done here further is provide a little bit more of editing magic that helps make the course even more exciting. And this is supposed to be a haunted church. So Could it be that Friar Roderech's son is buried in between these very walls, such that one can see a spirit at night, maybe there? So this is all part of a lesson on photography of the invisible and of spirits, and that is incorporated into the second half of this intro. But what I provide is also a discussion of the images, which is far more basic and more along the lines of what I'm doing with you right now. And that is something like this. It takes this form and a little bit of a dramatic introduction. It may be too late for Halloween by the time you see this. But then I think my image will nonetheless be with the images that I can discuss. Like so I walk through them like this, again, keeping my face present as much as possible. Okay, so that is basically what I had to show you. Two different sorts of videos, period costume. The second part of the introduction, when I'm actually walking them through the images and the critical arguments that are incorporated into the videos and readings, that's much more basic, and with me just walking through image by image. And now let me show you one more thing so as to leave some time for question and answers, and that is this. In my 20th century course, which I'm running now, I provide a different costume. I'm doing a mid-century adman / architect. And this is a unit, I would do most of these in Berlin. It's on photography under one-party rule. And so I'll give you a little bit more of a flavor with maybe a minute of this as a parting shot. Hi everybody, and welcome back. And this time we're going to be talking about something that's rarely discussed in the histories of photography more broadly, and that is photography in the one-party state. Now, I'll also show you what one can do is in these videos, and I've tried as well, you incorporate some of the photos that are involved in the discussion. Of course, a satellite state of the Soviet Union, but this boulevard began construction around 1952. And then lastly, one can also incorporate third-party videos right into the intro, which I was trying to do. In this case, this is the site where some of the scenes from Moscow in Queen's Gambit were filmed. It's actually Berlin, but it was supposed to look like Moscow. So I took a little piece of that for this. In Moscow. Okay, so there you go. It's a little bit of a fast intro, but the main point is keeping them engaged, using these tools as much as possible for that purpose, while also incorporating critical arguments in the first intro, the overview, which I haven't shown you as much of, but that's there in these introductory first part videos, and then walking through those arguments with the images in the second part, and then the content that follows. Okay, great. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to your questions.